3 deaths and 5 sick people from an assisted living center in Antioch may be traced to a Thanksgiving Day meal, but at this point, health investigators aren't sure what made them sick. All 8 people who fell ill ate a Thanksgiving Day meal at the Antioch American Legion Hall. They all also came from the same assisted living facility in Antioch. Now, 835 people ate that Thanksgiving dinner, but these were the only people who actually got sick.
We will not call that an outbreak unless we also have somebody else getting sick that doesn't live with them. And that's, as you might understand, it's because they could have gotten sick from food they prepared at their living facility rather than at the Thanksgiving event.
The assisted living facility isn't registered by the county, but rather the state, so the investigation of the facility as a possible source will be conducted by the state. Autopsies have been conducted. Joining me now is KTVU medical expert Larry Burchett. Incubation periods differ. The timing of this crucial in terms of figuring out what caused this illness.
Yeah, so in the ER, I see some people that come in and they get hit hard right away from staph, for example, an infection that can cause vomiting, diarrhea, 6 to 12 hours. Some have a little more delayed presentation, but that'll be kind of part of the puzzle that they put together in terms of what caused this, not just the bacteria, but then the food.
And so it's different types of bacteria can incubate for longer periods of time? Is that it, basically?
Yeah, so...
And what is that sort of range, typically?
Well, on the shorter side would be kind of 6 to 12 hours. I think of staph. Mayo and salad dressing, for example. You leave it out too much. Then you've got chicken. We think of salmonella for that.
Right.
That has a different period. It's a little longer. But I would say within 48 hours. We're not talking a week. It's not something they ate a week ago.
Right. The idea that you can die from eating a meal is really horrifying, but it does happen.
Yeah, it's pretty severe. I mean, you and I were talking about this. I've seen hundreds, maybe even thousands of people come to the ER with diarrhea from food. We give them fluids, they get better. Sometimes I have to admit them, especially those who are elderly or weak, and I kind of think about that population in this case.
Yep.
They need to be admitted, but I've never had anybody die from this. Of the 50 million people that get sick from food with diarrhea every year, only 3,000 die. So it does happen. It's not unheard of.
So 3 people in this instance, and then 5 others sick. They are elderly. However, the numbers do sort of make it a bit of a medical mystery.
Yeah, so there's a whole lot of different bacteria that can cause this. And when you hear that kind of number, 3 out of 8 dying, that makes me think it's going to be a severe one. Maybe not salmonella or something that's more common that causes kind of a more mild course. I don't know which one it is. We'll have to see what the investigation, brings up.
When you have the meal that they ate, and then you also have the fact that they were the only ones who ate this meal that got sick, do you lean one way or another? Do you think it's likely their facility rather than this Thanksgiving meal?
It kind of makes you wonder. I don't know. I saw in your numbers 835 people had this Thanksgiving meal, but it was only these 8 residents at this particular care facility that got sick. So was it something they ate at the care facility? Well, then why weren't other people at the care facility sick? I don't have an answer for that. So
how about
it's a
an
mystery.
autopsy? Will that be beneficial? Do you think eventually they will solve this?
I think we can usually they've got a lot of people who went to the ER, so we got a lot of samples of blood, urine, feces that we can analyze. And then autopsy, there's even going to still be in their intestines samples that can be taken. I think they're going to figure this one out.
All right. Dr. Larry Burchett, thanks as always for the insight.
Good to be here. Thanks.